or popularity, in terms of genre, Jade Dynasty undoubtedly overwhelmingly defeats Prime Minister Liu Luoguo. Jade Dynasty 2-0 Prime Minister Liu Luoguo. The third point to discuss is the issue of investment. It is well known that if one wants to film a TV series to perfection, a huge amount of capital investment is inevitably required. Just now, Yang Hao carefully reviewed the investment situation for Prime Minister Liu Luoguo, and the results left him dumbfounded. The investment for Prime Minister Liu Luoguo was approximately 60 million yuan. When he saw this number, Yang Hao almost couldn't help but laugh out loud. Because he had always thought that with the strong backing of Ye Xiaoyu, the investment for Prime Minister Liu Luoguo should at least be 200 million. However, the reality was far beyond his expectations, amounting to only a mere 60 million. What was even more ridiculous was that all 60 million yuan was paid out of Fangxing Company's own pocket, which meant that Ye Xiaoyu had not provided even a single cent of funding. Not only that, but what was even worse was that no investor was interested in the subject matter of this V-series. In today's film and television industry, if its V-series investment doesn't even reach 100 million yuan, one probably wouldn't have the face to mention it to others. What exactly does over 60 million mean? Speaking for myself, the amount spent just on acquiring the film and television adaptation rights for the novel Jade Dynasty far exceeded 60 million. And now Tianyu Entertainment, relying on a super popular big IP like Jade Dynasty, has successfully raised a staggering 1 billion yuan. The gap between these two is simply like the difference between heaven and earth. His own Tianyu Entertainment, with such robust financial strength as its backing, can freely create various stunning and magnificent scenes and special effects, perfectly presenting the exciting plots from the original work to the audience. But looking at your Prime Minister Liu Luoguo, how much real money can you put in to support the filming? Without sufficient capital investment, how can you expect to film the ideal scenes and feelings in your mind? Isn't this just like a madman's dream, utterly unrealistic? Jade Dynasty 3-0 Prime Minister Liu Luoguo. The fourth point to discuss is the problems in the directing aspect. It is well known that the quality of a film and television work ultimately presented, the director bears a very important part of the responsibility. Although his own Tianyu Entertainment does not have those super famous, awe-inspiring directors, it does have many well-known excellent directors under its command. This time, facing a super IP, like Jade Dynasty, which is simply a godsend, it's like a pie falling from the sky. Therefore, no matter what, we must firmly grasp this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and absolutely not let it slip through our fingers. Because of this, for the filming of Jade Dynasty this time, no less than 6 directors were hired. Look at this directorial lineup, it can truly be described as extremely luxurious and star-studded. And then look at Prime Minister Liu Luoguo. It actually only assigned one director to be responsible for the filming of the entire series. What's even more astonishing is that this director is a complete novice who hasn't even filmed a small commercial before, yet dares to presumptuously claim to be starting its V-series and even boast about competing head-to-head with us. Oh my, this is truly outrageous to the extreme, simply unbelievably ridiculous. Jade Dynasty 4-0 Prime Minister Liu Luoguo. The fifth key factor is the selection of actors. It is important to know that the current film and television industry is in an era of UNDENIABLE Chinese letter traffic popularity. Take our drama, for example. Whether it's the protagonist Zhang Xiaofan, or the supporting character Lin Jingyu, or the female characters Bai Yao and Lu Zuki, all of them are portrayed by popular, top-tier Chinese letter traffic popularity stars. Chinese letter traffic popularity stars have a massive and fervent fan base, who often spare no effort in supporting the film and television works their idols participate in. Even if some viewers have never encountered the original novel Jade Dynasty before, simply because their favorite older brother participated in the filming of the series, they will unhesitatingly support it to the end. In this way, viewership ratings are naturally greatly guaranteed. In contrast, the cast of the other work, Prime Minister Liu Luoguo, is truly not commendable. The main actors are Chen Xiaoxi, Zhu Ershi, and Guo Gang, 2 of whom are skit actors, and 1 is a crosstalk comedian. Such a combination inevitably makes one question, What kind of wonderful plot can they really perform? And how many loyal fans can they attract? After all, compared to those immensely popular Chinese letter traffic popularity stars, these actors are indeed dwarfed in terms of fame and fan influence. Therefore, purely from the perspective of actors, Jade Dynasty absolutely overwhelmingly defeats Prime Minister Liu Luoguo. Jade Dynasty 5-0 Prime Minister Liu Luoguo. So after this comparison, Yang Hao felt that Prime Minister Liu Luoguo had no heat, no funds, and no actors. How could such a threne, no film and television drama compare with his own? To quote a classic line from a Micromaster, 5-0, advantage is mine. Qing Entertainment Company made a surprisingly high-profile announcement about the establishment of a brand new film and television company. This news was like a bombshell, instantly causing a huge stir in the entertainment industry. Even more shocking was that Vanishing Stars Entertainment Company made no secret of its open challenge to industry giant Tianyu Film and Television Company. Such an astonishing move was truly unexpected by everyone. Who would have thought that at the beginning of the new year, such an earth-shattering event would suddenly emerge? For a time, the entire entertainment industry was thrown into a frenzy by this sudden change. As people were speculating about how Tianyu Film and Television Company would launch a powerful counterattack. At this very moment, with only 2 days left until schools reopen, Ye Xiaoyu Company officially announced that they were about to grandly launch a brand new uniquely designed phone card for the vast student population. As soon as this news broke, it immediately attracted enthusiastic attention and anticipation from many students. The new phone card launched by Ye Xiaoyu Company was named Dynamic Zone, a vibrant and fashionable name that seemed to foreshadow a unique communication experience for its users. It is especially worth mentioning that this Dynamic Zone was custom-tailored for students, offering a series of highly attractive benefits. For a basic monthly fee of just 30 yuan, users could enjoy up to 80 data packages, allowing students to surf the internet without worrying about insufficient data. Additionally, it included a membership to Mihu Video, allowing users to watch various exciting film and television programs at their leisure. However, the most eye-catching aspect was Ye Xiaoyu Company's bold decision to invite the immensely popular Lin Feng to be the brand ambassador for Dynamic Zone. As soon as this major news was released, the entire entertainment industry was in an uproar, and many industry insiders were left dumbfounded and speechless upon hearing it. After all, as a hot celebrity, Lin Feng's super high popularity and wide influence would undoubtedly bring unprecedented attention and buzz to Dynamic Zone. People were speculating whether Dynamic Zone would gain an even larger market share with Lin Feng's involvement. Ye Xiaoyu Company is one of China's most famous, giant enterprises, renowned both domestically and globally, standing out as a prominent and eye-catching entity. Even the powerful Ye Group, led by Ye Xiaoyu, seemed a bit overshadowed in comparison. However, against this backdrop, Ye Xiaoyu Company unexpectedly chose Lin Feng to be the brand ambassador for their Dynamic Zone brand. As soon as this news broke, it was like a giant stone falling into water, instantly stirring up 1,000 waves and causing a sensation throughout the entertainment industry. Those celebrities who usually enjoyed boundless glory were all envious and jealous upon hearing this, secretly regretting that such good fortune had not fallen upon them. Regardless of how high the endorsement fee was this time, simply being able to establish such a close cooperative relationship with Ye Xiaoyu Company was enough to make countless people green with envy and excited. After all, as an industry giant, Ye Xiaoyu Company possesses vast resources and connections, and anyone or anything associated with it is highly likely to gain an opportunity to soar. For a time, various speculations ran rampant. Everyone discussed, no doubt, this must be due to Lin Feng's capable wife, Ye Xiaoyu, pulling strings. Everyone sighed. Lin Feng was truly too lucky to be able to marry such an outstanding woman. With Ye Xiaoyu as his strong backing, it would be difficult for him not to have a smooth and successful career. On the day school started, countless Ye Xiaoyu Company staff members moved into university campuses. Not only university campuses, but also many Ye Xiaoyu Company personnel entered high school campuses. The school's TV walls, and even the TV walls in outside shopping malls, began playing the MV of Lin Feng's latest single on this day. And Lin Feng's latest single was called My Territory. In my territory, you have to listen to me. Harvest the music, find joy through listening. Starting to carve out my personal characteristics. The future is unpredictable, stick to the current choice. Not long after, this long-awaited song's MV, like a brilliant meteor, streaked across the sky of the internet, instantly attracting countless eyes. Lin Feng's vast and loyal fan base cheered like a parched land receiving sweet rain. Wow, this song is simply awesome. Not only is the melody super dynamic, but even the enunciation is so unique, one fan exclaimed excitedly. Another fan laughed and responded, ha ha ha, isn't that right? This unique enunciation is indeed Lin Feng Dada's style, no doubt. Although he sings in Chinese, if I don't look at the lyrics, I really can't quite grasp it. At this point, someone else interjected jokingly, hey friend upstairs, are you praising our Lin Feng Dada or secretly slandering him? I'm really confused right now. Meanwhile, more discussions about the song arose one after another. Oh my goodness, did you notice? The intro of this song even incorporates the roar of a helicopter rotor turning. The sound effect is so realistic, as if a helicopter is hovering right above our heads. It's truly amazing. Lin Feng Dada's compositions never disappoint. What does it mean to expand my territory with attitude? What's going on? Pigeons in the square, how to occupy the front page. A brand new explanation. Title about this city. About learning and exams. And the skills young people should have. The music suddenly started, and from the very beginning, it was the passionate and exhilarating chorus. Like a flash of lightning piercing the night sky, it instantly ignited the enthusiasm of the entire audience. Immediately after, a section of fast-paced, uniquely rhythmic rap lyrics came like a storm, its content wild and imaginative, full of creativity. Although many listeners might find the exact meaning of these lyrics a bit perplexing, this did not affect their immersion. Every word and every phrase was like a dancing note, combining in a unique way to form a powerful magic that made people unconsciously sway with the rhythm. The complex and ingenious rhymes, rapid changes in tempo, and expressive vocals together created an incredibly cool atmosphere. People were captivated by this unprecedented musical style, thoroughly enjoying the shock and impact brought by this auditory feast. How many meters away is the traffic light for dynamic zone for me? I said, teacher, am I really ignorant? Listen to me rap lyrics, appreciate my boxing stance. I stand in the classroom practicing boxing. Your appearance consistent lines. Wow, oh my goodness, this song is absolutely awesome. Lin Feng Dada's rap skills are truly astonishing. It's no exaggeration to say that he is absolutely unique and unrivaled in the entire Chinese entertainment industry. Who can compare to his extraordinary talent and charm? I really didn't expect that so soon after the new year, Lin Feng Dada would bring us such a huge surprise. This truly makes the fans ecstatic. However, Lin Feng Dada, could you please slow down a little bit when you sing? For fans like me, trying to imitate your singing is really too difficult, isn't it? I can't do it. Some of Lin Feng's fans also complained, saying that Lin Feng's enunciation and tempo were too fast for them to keep up, let alone learn the song. Hey friend upstairs, don't worry, let me teach you a little trick. Actually, every one of Lin Feng Dada's songs has a particularly rhythmic accompaniment, and that's the key. If you truly want to learn Lin Feng Dada's songs well, the first step is to memorize all those complex and wonderful lyrics by heart. As long as you can successfully do that, you'll suddenly find that you've unknowingly already learned it. Someone began to offer advice to the person above. Exactly, I strongly agree with what the friend upstairs said. Take Lin Feng Dada's classic works, Listen to Your Mother and Stop the War for example. I also learned to sing those two songs by first memorizing the lyrics by heart. The Girl Next Door. Public performance requires courage. Others play online games, I prefer to do monkey tricks. I practice with zingy monkey fist. To get your attention. If you find it interesting. Don't be stingy, show some kindness. Amazing, truly amazing, to be able to add such a wonderfully exquisite falsetto in such rapid rap, it's truly miraculous. Has this Lin Feng's understanding of music really reached this level? At this moment, Su Chen, who was listening to the new song, couldn't help but exclaim, This Lin Feng's comprehension of music is simply not on the same level as ours at all. It should be known that Su Chen himself was actually a very talented singer-songwriter. However, for some reason, whenever he heard Lin Feng's works, he always felt a deep sense of realization. There was an extremely obvious and fundamental chasm between Lin Feng and many other singer-songwriters like him. These people, it could be said, were diligently making music. No matter how overflowing their own talent, they would ultimately confine themselves within the familiar and habitual existing music system. But Lin Feng was completely different. Those so-called music system frameworks had no restrictive effect on him whatsoever. For Lin Feng, music was like an interesting toy that he could play with at will. He could effortlessly leap from one point to another at his whim, his mind so active and his ideas so unconventional that they were as elusive as a celestial horse galloping across the sky. It seemed as if all the myriad sounds in this world were firmly held in Lin Feng's grasp, to be wielded and orchestrated as he pleased. To put it simply, these singer-songwriters were making music while Lin Feng was playing music. Making and playing, a difference of one word, but the gap in their realms was an unfathomable chasm. Youth is pure white. Like a green landscape outside the window. I open the door of memory and record everything that happened. Subsequently, Su Chen continued to listen to the song, and he was completely stunned, as if under a spell. In just over a minute, he heard as many as 4 distinct and unique vocal styles appear consecutively in this song. These vocal styles were like twinkling stars in the night sky, each emitting its own unique and dazzling light, yet cleverly intertwined and merged into one. Lin Feng was like a skilled musical magician, seamlessly blending them together to create an unprecedented auditory feast. At this moment, as they listened, they might find it all seemingly quite simple. However, if they were to truly try to perfectly blend those vastly different vocal styles and rhythms themselves, it would probably be difficult for them to come up with any effective method to achieve such an exquisite combination, no matter how much they racked their brains. So cool, it seems that brother-in-law did not waste his talent after getting together with my sister. Every song he releases is so excellent. On the way to the company with Ye Xiaoyu, Ye Xiaotong said with a smile, while listening to Lin Feng's new song. Xiaotong, what do you mean by that? Are you praising your brother-in-law or implying something about me? Ye Xiaoyu was immediately displeased by her words. And as Lin Feng's My Territory quickly went viral online, Ye Xiaoyu Company's campus card sold incredibly well. In just 4 days, it had already sold 700 million, a figure that already exceeded Ye Xiaoyu Company's annual sales from the previous year. Lai Hua, the CEO of Ye Xiaoyu Company, looked at the figures provided by his subordinates at this moment, momentarily disbelieving his own eyes. Is this real? Lai Hua muttered to himself, then asked his secretary, is there any possibility of an error in this data? No, Mr. Lai, we have verified it 4 times. Now some high school kids are saying I am an M's own person every day, and some outsiders are even trying to find ways to get their school-aged children to get them a dynamic zone campus card as well, Lai Hua, as secretary, said with a smile. It seems I really underestimated these celebrities, Lai Hua said softly, looking at the data in his hand. It seems that this time Xiaoyu won the bet, Lai Hua said, then made a phone call. Hello old Jin, it's me Xiao Lai. You already know about this matter? Our data for these past few days has come out, and the sales for just these few days have already far exceeded the sales for the entire year in previous years. It seems we've lost to that girl Ye Xiaoyu. Oh my Uncle Lai, what are you doing? That was just a casual joke at the time, how could you take it seriously? At this moment, in Ye Xiaoyu's spacious, bright, and well-organized office, she was elegantly seated in a comfortable office chair, answering a call from Lai Hua with a smile. Then, Lai Hua, as hearty laughter came from the other end of the phone. Aha, little Yi, don't be so formal with me, your uncle. If it weren't for your advice this time, how could things have been resolved so smoothly? Your Uncle Lai has always been a man who honors his bets, and now old Jin's money has already been transferred to my account. I'll transfer it to you now. At this point, Lai Hua paused, and his tone became slightly more serious. Little Yi, if you don't accept this money, are you looking down on your Uncle Lai and old Jin? Ye Xiaoyu quickly explained. Of course not, Uncle Lai, you're really overthinking it. This matter was just a small favor for me, and it's my honor to be able to help you, Uncle Lai. Besides, who knows, maybe in the future, when I encounter some difficulties, I'll still need your and old Jin's help and guidance. So, please don't take this small matter to heart. As she spoke, Ye Xiaoyu let out a string of clear and melodious laughter, like silver bells. All right, since little Yi has spoken so frankly, if I were to be coy and decline again, I would be ungrateful and rude. Ha 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 ha. This matter, then, will be considered a huji favor your Uncle Lai owes you. In the future, if there's anything you need your Uncle Lai for, just tell me, don't be shy. Lai Hu, as hearty and bold laughter came clearly through the phone, as if one could see his smiling face. Ye Xiaoyu's lips curved slightly upward, and she responded politely and happily. All right then, Uncle Lai, thank you in advance. Oh, by the way, Uncle Lai, there's one more thing I need to trouble you with. Regarding old Jin, please help me say hello to him. After saying this, she chatted with Lai Hua for a while about everyday topics, then ended the call contentedly and hung up the phone. After hanging up the phone, Ye Xiaoyu was in an incredibly good mood, feeling as if she was bathed in warm sunshine. She turned to Ye Xiaotong with a beaming smile and excitedly said, Xiaotong, I'm happy today, so I'm treating us to lunch. Let's go out and have a good meal, eat and drink to our heart's content, and celebrate this great news. Oh, my sister, how can you be so generous? That's a full 400 million yuan. Ye Xiaotong's mood at this moment was completely different from Ye Xiaoyu's. She frowned tightly, looking at Ye Xiaoyu with a face full of anxiety. Normally, this money belonged to Ye Xiaoyu, and as her cousin, she shouldn't have said anything, but she couldn't help but feel indignant for Ye Xiaoyu. After all, this was no small sum. It wasn't just a few 100,000 or a few million, but a staggering 400 million yuan. Ye Xiaoyu, however, appeared exceptionally calm and composed. After neatly organizing the documents on her desk, she slowly looked up at Ye Xiaotong and said earnestly, Xiaotong, you need to broaden your horizons. Indeed, 400 million yuan is extremely tempting. But the favor of Lai Hua and old Jin, its value is far beyond what this mere 400 million can measure. You'll slowly learn the intricacies and profoundness of it. After speaking, Ye Xiaoyu gently patted Ye Xiaotong's shoulder, a faint smile on her lips. I think you all live too hard, always calculating and scheming, and having 100 tricks up your sleeve. How tiring it must be to live like that. Anyway, I'm not learning it. Ye Xiaotong pouted, quickly caught up with Ye Xiaoyu's pace, and grumbled under her breath. Then, as if remembering something important, she suddenly looked up and asked, By the way, sis, where are we going for lunch? Your brother-in-law and I went to a restaurant before. Don't let its small size fool you, the food is really good, I'll take you to try it today. As she spoke, Ye Xiaoyu and Ye Xiaotong had already left the company. I say, brother-in-law, if we just wander around here every day, can we really find the person we're looking for? Inside Madu Academy of Drama, Ye Xiaofen and Lin Feng were dressed like Japanese devils stealing landmines, strolling around Madu Academy of Drama. Fortunately, they had already notified the school authorities and greeted the security personnel in advance. Otherwise, given their attire, they would probably be caught by the school's security personnel within 10 minutes. Anyway, we don't have anything to do these days, so let's just wander around casually, Lin Feng said with a smile, and look at this school, it's full of beauties, isn't that just what you kid like? Why were Lin Feng and Ye Xiaofen here? The answer was simple. They were looking for male and female actors for Rainbow Sky Blue Dream 7 Heroes. Originally, this task should have been done by Sun Wai, but because of the start of Prime Minister Liu Luoguo, Sun Wai couldn't leave the set for a single day, so the task of finding male and female actors fell to Lin Feng and Ye Xiaofen. Today was their third day of wandering around Madu Academy of Drama, but to be honest, they still hadn't found suitable candidates. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, why do we have to dress like this? Ye Xiaofen looked at his attire and said helplessly to Lin Feng, Brother-in-law, don't we look like human traffickers dressed like this? Nonsense, have you forgotten about us going to the hotel 2 days ago? He remembered 2 days ago, when Ye Xiaofen invited Lin Feng and others to dinner. Many people came that day, but as soon as Lin Feng arrived, he was instantly recognized. Subsequently, their private room was packed, and Lin Feng was forced to sign autographs for 2 hours. He didn't even get to drink soup at dinner. So this time, Lin Feng came here meticulously disguised. Otherwise, if his identity were exposed and he was surrounded by these students, he wouldn't be able to find anyone. Brother-in-law, everything you say makes sense, but why do I also have to disguise myself with you? Ye Xiaoyu asked, somewhat puzzled. That's right, you Lin Feng are famous now, and you have to disguise yourself to go out, but I, Ye Xiaoyu, am just an ordinary person, right? I'm not afraid of being recognized, so why am I disguising myself like this ghost? That's right, you Lin Feng are famous now. It's only natural for you to disguise yourself when going out, fearing being recognized by others. But I, this young master, am a complete ordinary person now, not afraid of being recognized at all, and even if I am recognized, no one will pester me for an autograph, so why should I go through all this trouble with you? Lin Feng replied frankly. Oh, stop with the nonsense. If only I were dressed like this, wouldn't it seem exceptionally strange and abrupt? If two people wear strange clothes together, you can help me share some of the ridicule. Upon hearing this, Ye Xiaoyu was instantly speechless, unable to utter a single word for a long time. He was so angry that he really wanted to pounce forward and give Lin Feng a good beating. But in the end, he forcibly suppressed the impulse, muttering, "If you weren't my brother-in-law, damn it, I'd kill you." With that, he stomped off angrily, with Lin Feng continuing to move forward. After walking for about 10 minutes like this, suddenly, more than a dozen students were seen approaching Lin Feng and Ye Xiaoyu, chatting and laughing lively. Lin Feng was fine, but when he turned to look at Ye Xiaoyu, he was completely speechless. Ye Xiaoyu's lecherous little eyes were fixed on the girls from the art school walking past, his mouth wide open, almost drooling. These girls were all tall and slender, with long, delicate legs that seemed to stretch directly into the clouds. Looking further up, their exquisite little faces were like finely carved works of art, with fair skin that seemed to break at a touch, and very delicate features. Especially the full little peaks on some of the girls' chests, gently swaying with their light steps, exuding a captivating charm. Not only that, when these girls walked, their slender waists gently twisted, causing their rounded, perky little bottoms to sway, like delicate flowers swaying in the wind. Ye Xiaoyu's gaze was completely captivated, his eyes almost popping out, and he stood rooted to the spot as if his soul had been lost. Lin Feng, seeing this, couldn't help but shake his head and sigh inwardly, secretly cursing. This guy is so useless. A dignified super-rich second generation, what kind of beauties hasn't he seen? He actually gets so engrossed just by looking at a few female university students from an art academy. So Lin Feng couldn't help but scold Ye Xiaoyu. My dear brother, you are a prominent, super-rich second generation. As long as you crook your finger, what kind of girl can't you get? Let alone ordinary beauties, even those second and third-tier female stars, aren't they easily within reach? How can you be so lacking in self-control? Just seeing a few female students from an art academy makes your eyes go straight like that. However, just as Lin Feng was lecturing Ye Xiaoyu endlessly, he suddenly found his own gaze involuntarily drawn to someone. It turned out that among this group of girls, there was one boy who stood out. Unlike other boys who always cautiously followed behind the girls, this boy was actually surrounded by a large group of girls. The girls were like beautiful petals, encircling him in the middle, and he was like a delicate, dewy stamen, exuding a unique charm. What kind of face did this man have? Undoubtedly, he was naturally handsome and extraordinarily dashing. However, whether his appearance was outstanding or not seemed not to be the key at this moment. More importantly, when Ye Xiaoyu first saw this boy, he felt a sense of déjà vu. Not only that, upon closer inspection, he even found that he looked exactly like someone, as if they were carved from the same mold. Li Xiaoyu? Could it be you, Li Xiaoyu? Ye Xiaoyu couldn't suppress the impulse in his heart, and really wanted to rush forward immediately to ask. But in the next instant, a flash of inspiration suddenly crossed Ye Xiaoyu's mind, and he immediately decided on the best candidate for the male lead of the play Hong Tian. It was the guy standing in front of him. At the same time, among that group of girls, Ye Xiaoyu also noticed a special figure. The woman had a graceful figure and an elegant demeanor, and her performance in fight scenes was particularly heroic and unforgettable, and such a combination of a man and a woman was simply perfect, undoubtedly the best pairing for the male and female leads of this play. Hey brother-in-law, it's fine for me to stare since I'm not married, but you're married and still dare to stare so brazenly. Aren't you afraid of my sis? Shut up. Ye Xiaoyu's words were cut short by Lin Feng. I've found my ideal male and female leads. This was truly a case of finding something without looking for it. Lin Feng signaled to Ye Xiaoyu, who nodded. Then the two of them began to shed their disguises in front of these dozen or so students. To put it nicely, it was shedding disguises. To put it bluntly, it was taking off clothes. Leather jacket, leather pants, cotton coat, down jacket, thermal underwear, assault jacket, liner, vest, sweater. Soon, a small mountain of clothes was piled up next to Ye Xiaoyu and Lin Feng. These dozen university students stared straight at Ye Xiaoyu and Lin Feng, thinking to themselves, "Oh my God, did these two wear all the clothes from their homes?" However, when Lin Feng shed all his disguises, the students all gasped in surprise. That was Lin Feng, the most famous singer today. "Hello everyone, let me introduce myself, my name is Lin Feng." Lin Feng looked at the students with a slight smile, and under the sunlight, he was even a little handsome. Immediately followed by screams. One by one they rushed up to Lin Feng for autographs. Even the immortal sword hero and the quiet girl were no exception. Taking advantage of this time, Lin Feng learned the names of this man and woman. The man was Hu Ji, a sophomore at Madhu Academy of Drama, and the woman was Liu Sisi, a freshman at Madhu Academy of Drama. Ye Xiaoyu immediately extended an invitation to Hu Ji and Liu Sisi, inviting them to play the male and female leads in the TV series Rainbow Sky Blue Dream 7 Heroes. Ye Xiaoyu gave Hu Ji and Liu Sisi a business card, asking them to think about it, and if they agreed, to come to Fengsing Entertainment Company to find him. Just as Ye Xiaoyu, with a smile on his face, handed the exquisitely made business cards to Hu Ji and Liu Sisi respectively, Lin Feng, standing by his side, keenly caught the change in the eyes of the other surrounding classmates. He saw those classmates' eyes widen, staring intently at the small business card, their eyes revealing complex emotions like envy and jealousy. At the same time, Hu Ji and Liu Sisi appeared exceptionally serious. They carefully reached out their hands, respectfully taking the business cards from Ye Xiaoyu's hand. Perhaps because they were overly excited, their hands couldn't help but tremble slightly. At this moment, Ye Xiaoyu's gentle and confident voice was heard saying, "All right, if you've thought it over, you can come to our company to find me anytime tomorrow. Of course, if it's inconvenient to come over, a phone call to me will also work, and I'll arrange for someone to drive and pick you up." After speaking, he didn't forget to flash a friendly smile at them. As soon as he finished speaking, Ye Xiaoyu quickly turned his head and exchanged glances with Lin Feng beside him. Immediately after, as if they had a telepathic understanding, they unhesitatingly put on the disguises they had prepared earlier and then hurriedly left the Madhu Academy of Drama, in an almost comical manner. From a distance, their sneaky appearance looked exactly like two Japanese soldiers stealing land mines in an anti-Japanese war movie. And just after Lin Feng and Ye Xiaoyu turned and left, the classmates who had been standing by swarmed towards Liu Sisi and Hu Ji. Other passing students were also attracted at this time. They surrounded the two tightly, chattering in discussion. One of the girls, with an envious look, stared at the business card with the Fengsing Film and Television Company logo in Liu Sisi's hand and exclaimed, "Wow, Sisi, I'm so envious. You're only a freshman and you're already getting a chance to act." Her excited expression made it seem as if she were the lucky one. Meanwhile, Hu Ji on the other side also became the focus of everyone's attention. His surroundings were also packed with people, 3 layers deep, and everyone's eyes towards him were full of undisguised envy. After all, being chosen by a big company like Fengsing Film and Television is not an easy feat. You know, for the vast majority of students attending drama academies, graduation often means unemployment. Looking across the country, there are more than 400 similar drama academies, enrolling a total of nearly 200,000 students each year. And there are also 20 to 30 such highly renowned and influential institutions like Madhu Academy of Drama nationwide. These academies enroll over 10,000 students each year who harbor dreams of becoming stars, and roughly the same number of students graduate each year. Such a huge number of graduates makes job competition extremely fierce. Therefore, to be able to get acting opportunities during their studies is undoubtedly incredibly enviable. You know, in the bustling and competitive entertainment industry, the acting roles and performance opportunities available to actors each year are actually quite limited. Faced with such scarce resources, countless people with dreams of stardom are like 1,000 armies and 10,000 horses, scrambling to cross that pitifully narrow single-plank bridge. Of course, if someone possesses outstanding looks and physique, plus is willing to provide certain special services, then perhaps they might barely secure a supporting role. However, for young students who have just graduated from school and entered society, wanting to directly take on a leading role is simply a pipe dream. After all, such situations are extremely rare, like phoenix feathers and unicorn horns. Lin Feng once witnessed a poignant news report. An excellent graduate from a drama academy in Sichuan province, despite her talent and impressive acting skills, never received any significant roles due to a lack of sufficient opportunities and luck. Thus, she waited year after year until she was 28, when she finally welcomed the first major turning point in her life, having the good fortune to participate in a film and television production and play the third female lead. When she learned that she had successfully secured this hard-won role, the actress was so excited that she couldn't suppress the surging emotions in her heart on set, actually bursting into tears on the spot, crying as heartbroken as a child. Such an opportunity is really too difficult, and a girl who was her classmate, who was not as pretty as her, and whose professional ability could not compare to hers, actually became a popular young star in the entertainment industry. No way that classmate knew how to curry favor with those bosses. At this point, some people would say, look at our Mimi Tang Tang Bing Bing, didn't they also rise to fame without power or influence? But do you know how much they paid behind the scenes? Do you know the value of a phrase like wait a moment I? Of course, not everyone has to go through this to debut. There are also lucky male and female actors. But such people are very good, especially female actors. And now Hu Ji and Liu Cixi have such an opportunity, and right from the start, they are the male and female leads. That luck is even rarer than winning 5 million in the lottery. Treat, treat! Everyone looked at Hu Ji and Liu Cixi with envious faces. Although there was a hint of jealousy in their hearts, they also understood that since things had come to this, it was better to quickly adjust their mindset and seize the opportunity to extort a meal from them. So, everyone started shouting, demanding that Hu Ji and Liu Cixi treat them to a celebration. You know, it might not be long before these two become household names as big stars due to the TV series. Facing everyone's enthusiastic taunts, Liu Cixi smiled charmingly and readily agreed. Okay, Hu Ji and I will treat tonight. Let's have dinner at the barbecue stall next to the academy. Order whatever you want, don't be shy with me, this one's on me. Hu Ji looked at Liu Cixi gratefully. Hu Ji's family financial situation was different from Liu Cixi's. He came from an ordinary family with limited financial means. Liu Cixi's parents, however, were business people, and her family was quite well off. Therefore, treating everyone to a barbecue was not difficult for Liu Cixi. At this point, some people might ask, it's just a barbecue, how much could it cost? The person saying this might not know the current prices. You know, Lin Feng and Ye Xiaoyu alone would spend almost 200 yuan when they went out for barbecue, and that's without drinking alcohol. If it were over 100 people, then it would probably be tens of thousands. Oh, that's strange. You're out so early today. In the early morning, as Ye Xiaoyu rushed to the company for a meeting, she was surprised to find Lin Feng walking out with her, which made her curious, so she asked. After all, under normal circumstances, Lin Feng would usually be at home at this time. Hearing Ye Xiaoyu's question, Lin Feng's lips curved slightly, revealing a faint smile, and then he replied, yesterday Xiao Fan and I spent the whole day wandering around Madu Academy of Drama. Oh, what did you go there for? Were you looking for suitable actors for Rainbow Sky Blue Dream 7 Heroes? Ye Xiaoyu blinked, asking with interest. After all, Lin Feng and Ye Xiaoyu hadn't asked each other about work matters these past few days. Haha, our Xiaoyu is so smart, you guessed it. Our luck was really good yesterday. We found both the male and female leads in one go. I reckon they might come to our fencing company today. So I need to go and take a look, and arrange the relevant matters, Lin Feng explained with a smile and a relaxed tone. Really? Wow, both the male and female leads have been confirmed. So who is the male lead? Is he handsome? Ye Xiaoyu stared at Lin Feng with a face full of anticipation, eager to know the answer. Seeing this, Lin Feng deliberately played coy, teasing with a grin, he's handsome, he can definitely charm a lot of girls. But you're not allowed to be fickle or fall for someone else, okay? After saying that, he playfully winked at Ye Xiaoyu. Wow, that handsome? Then I'll have to find time to go and see for myself. As for falling for someone else, there's absolutely no need to worry about that, but if you dare to make me angry in the future, then don't blame this young lady for putting a big green hat on you. When mentioning putting a green hat on Lin Feng, Ye Xiaoyu quietly leaned into Lin Feng's ear and whispered softly. Hearing this, Lin Feng's lips curved slightly, and he also lowered his voice to reply, "What? Am I not enough to satisfy you?" Faced with Lin Feng's slightly teasing words, Ye Xiaoyu pouted, her pink fist gently landing on Lin Feng's body, and she chided, "Oh, you're so annoying." Just then, Lin Feng suddenly reached out and pulled Ye Xiaoyu tightly into his arms, giving her a deep, passionate kiss without hesitation. Both of them, of course, knew they were joking. It was just a bit of playful banter between lovers. Ye Xiaoyu wrapped her arms around Lin Feng's neck and passionately kissed him, both instantly lost in their fervent love for each other, as if the whole world consisted only of the two of them. However, just as they were inseparable and deeply engrossed, an urgent car horn suddenly blared, abruptly interrupting their tender moment. Immediately after, the car window slowly rolled down, and Ye Xiaoyu's expressionless face unexpectedly appeared before them. "Aren't you too shameless anymore? Look at the time, the meeting is already 10 minutes late. This girl, she can't stand to see us like this anymore," Ye Xiaoyu said to Lin Feng with a smile, then gently wiped the lipstick from Lin Feng's lips, kissed his cheek tenderly, and got into the car, heading to the company with Ye Xiaoyu. Watching Ye Xiaoyu's receding figure get into the car and disappear from sight, Lin Feng slowly turned around and walked with steady, powerful strides towards the underground garage. Lin Feng gently pulled open the car door, got into the driver's seat, started the engine, and the car let out a low, pleasant roar before speeding out of the parking space like an arrow released from a bow. The vehicle drove smoothly on the road. Lin Feng skillfully controlled the steering wheel, his gaze focused on the road ahead. Before long, he arrived in front of the building where Fengxing Entertainment Company was located. This building soared into the clouds, magnificent and imposing, and had now been entirely leased by Fengxing Entertainment Company, becoming its exclusive office space. Lin Feng drove the car into the underground parking lot and found an empty spot to park. Then, he locked the car door and walked straight to the elevator. After entering the elevator, he pressed the button for the top floor. As the elevator ascended, Lin Feng couldn't help but recall the bits and pieces of Fengxing Entertainment Company's past year. Last year, Fengxing Entertainment Company achieved great success and was very profitable. Initially, they could only rent half of the floors in this building as offices and work areas, but with the continuous expansion of business and the growth of their artist roster, the company decided to expand its scale and leased the entire building. Not only that, but the original small recording studio, due to the increasing number of singers and greater demand, the company specially cleared out an entire floor to convert into a modern recording studio to meet everyone's work needs. All these changes proved that Fengxing Entertainment Company was flourishing and thriving. This was also the result that Lin Feng and Ye Xiaoyu had always strived for and hoped to see. However, such achievements naturally attracted the jealousy and dissatisfaction of many competitors. Those peers watched Fengxing Entertainment Company grow stronger day by day, snatching a large amount of market share and resources, and naturally felt uneasy. But Lin Feng didn't care about others' opinions. He firmly believed that as long as they continued to follow their own path and maintain their innovative and enterprising spirit, Fengxing Entertainment Company would surely create even greater glories. The film and television department was located on the third floor of this building, but due to the recent upcoming filming of the classic historical drama Prime Minister Liu Luoguo, almost the entire third floor was occupied by the crew, making the once bustling office area appear unusually quiet. When Lin Feng arrived on the third floor, he found only a few people there, and in the large conference room, only Ye Xiaoyu was hunched over a table, writing furiously. "Brother-in-law, you're here!" Hearing footsteps from the doorway, Ye Xiaoyu looked up, a surprised smile on his face, but his movements were a bit flustered as he hurriedly closed the notebook in his hand and hid it to the side. Seeing this, Lin Feng couldn't help but feel curious. He walked towards Ye Xiaoyu, teasing with a smile, "Oh, what precious thing is so mysterious that you're hiding it from me?" With that, Lin Feng sat down next to Ye Xiaoyu, leaning slightly, trying to see what he had just been writing. Ye Xiaoyu quickly waved his hands and explained, "It's really nothing, brother-in-law, just some random scribbles I made." Immediately after, as if he remembered something, he cleared his throat and quickly changed the subject. "By the way, brother-in-law, why are you here so early today?" Usually I don't see you at this time. All right, looking at your beaming face, have you fallen for another girl? Lin Feng sat next to Ye Xiaoyu, patted Xiaofan's shoulder, and said with a smile. Ah, brother-in-law, don't talk nonsense. Do you think you're a fortune-teller? Ye Xiaoyu was instantly flustered when he heard Lin Feng say that, and quickly denied it, but looking at Xiaofan's pathetic state, wasn't it just like himself before? Xiaofan, why are you hiding this from me? How about I tell your sister and let her ask you? As he spoke, Lin Feng was about to take out his phone to call Ye Xiaoyu. Oh my god, brother-in-law, don't mess around. Please don't tell that demon about something that doesn't even exist, otherwise, that demon will definitely mock me. Ye Xiaoyu quickly pressed Lin Feng's hand and said loudly. Lin Feng was a little unhappy hearing this. What did he mean by demon? Our Xiaoyu is so gentle and cute, how could she be related to a demon? So Lin Feng decided to annoy Ye Xiaoyu and said with a smile, Demon, isn't that your most favorite Xiaoyu? Brother-in-law, don't say it anymore. I saw a psychologist for over a month to get out of that shadow. Now as soon as Ye Xiaoyu heard the words Xiaoyu, bad memories immediately flooded his mind. All right, I won't tease you anymore. You're not a child anymore, and you're even a CEO. Don't worry, I won't tell your sister. Lin Feng originally wanted to tease Ye Xiaoyu a bit more, but hearing that Xiaofan had seen a psychologist for over a month because of Xiaoyu, he felt a little sorry for Xiaofan. Let's talk business. Did Hu Ji and Liu Sisi call you today? Are they coming? Lin Feng timely changed the subject, leaning back in his chair with his feet on the table, and asked Ye Xiaoyu. Those two kids called me first thing in the morning and said they would definitely come today. Looking at the time now, they should be arriving from Madhu Academy of Drama around this time. Ye Xiaoyu glanced at the time and said to Lin Feng with a smile. As he was speaking, Ye Xiaoyu's phone rang. Ye Xiaoyu picked up the phone, glanced at the caller ID, and then said to Lin Feng with a smile, See, brother-in-law, speak of the devil and he shall appear. Hello, you've arrived. Okay, you can come straight up. Lin Feng and I are on the 3rd floor. After speaking, Ye Xiaoyu hung up the phone, then glanced at Lin Feng and whispered, Brother-in-law, put your legs down. It wouldn't look good if they saw you like that. After about 5 minutes, there was a knock on the conference room door. Ye Xiaoyu and Lin Feng exchanged glances, knowing that Hu Ji and Liu Sisi had arrived. Come in, Ye Xiaoyu said softly at this moment, his voice carrying a hint of authority and seriousness, which even made Lin Feng a little confused. Brother, how long has it been since we last met? You're so good at putting on airs now, aren't you? Theo Yi Lin, we're so sorry, we didn't expect the traffic today and arrived a bit late, we're truly very sorry. As soon as Liu Sisi and Hu Ji entered the door, they apologized to Lin Feng and Ye Xiaoyu. It's nothing, you two can sit first. Actually, you're even half an hour earlier than I expected. Ye Xiaoyu looked at his watch with a very pretentious smile and said. Okay, actually, you should be very clear about the purpose of inviting you here this time. Although Vanishing Stars Film and Television Company has only recently been established, as you can see, this year we have already begun filming our first series, which is also why there are so few people on the 3rd floor of this film and television building. Ye Xiaoyu looked at Hu Ji and Liu Sisi and said with a smile. We know that, Prime Minister Liu Luoguo, Xiaoyu even held a press conference for it not long ago, Hu Ji said softly. That's right, the T-series Prime Minister Liu Luoguo was originally scheduled to be filmed later, but in order to catch up and compete with Tianyu Entertainment, it was chosen as Vanishing Stars Film and Television's first V-series. However, the first V-series Vanishing Stars was actually preparing to film was a wuxia drama. And you two are the male and female leads we are looking for, Ye Xiaoyu said word by word, looking at Hu Ji and Liu Sisi. So, strictly speaking, you two are actually the male and female leads of Vanishing Stars Film and Television Company's first V-series. Ye Xiaoyu spoke very pretentiously, which left Hu Ji and Liu Sisi stunned. Receiving an invitation from the CEO of Vanishing Stars Entertainment was already a very lucky thing, and now he was saying they would be the male and female leads. Was their luck a little too good? CEO Ye Lin, Hu Ji, and I are just ordinary students from the Academy of Drama. You two are actually letting us take on such a big responsibility? Can this really work? At this moment, Liu Sisi, with a face full of doubt, raised her concerns about the casting arrangement in the play. Hearing Liu Sisi ask this, a slight smile appeared on Lin Feng's lips. After a while, Lin Feng slowly began to speak. Sissy, you have a good sense of self-awareness. Based on your current level, neither of you is indeed sufficient to take on the roles of the male and female leads in this drama. Precisely because of this, you two will have to undergo some rigorous training next. As soon as he finished speaking, Ye Xiaoyu deftly handed the crucial contract to Hu Ji and Liu Sissy respectively. Then Lin Feng continued to explain softly. You might as well take a look at this contract first. The martial arts scenes in our wuxia drama are truly more numerous than you can imagine. However, neither of you possesses any martial arts foundation whatsoever. To put it more bluntly, you might not even know how to properly hold a sword. So, if you truly aspire to take on the important responsibility of being the male and female leads, then not only is martial arts training essential, but even your lines and acting skills will require diligent practice. Of course, during these 3 months of practice, Vanishing Stars Company will give you 10,000 yuan each month as living expenses. Lin Feng thought for a moment and continued, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? If you agree, then sign here. If you don't agree, then you can leave now. After Lin Feng finished speaking, he stopped talking and looked at Liu Sissy and Hu Ji. I understand, Teacher Lin, I'll sign this contract. Hu Ji picked up the contract and wrote his name on it with almost no hesitation. Liu Sissy also followed closely behind Hu Ji and wrote her name. Aren't you even going to consider it? Lin Feng asked with a smile. Of course, there's no need to consider it. Everything you've said, Teacher Lin, is entirely beneficial to us. That's right, if the male and female leads can't even hold a sword steady in a martial arts drama, wouldn't what they produce be fooling the audience? Hu Ji said with a smile at this moment. Exactly, Teacher Lin, Hu Ji is absolutely right. I am very sure that if we miss this opportunity, we will regret it later. Liu Sissy also said with a smile at this moment. All right, welcome to the filming of Rainbow, Sky Blue Dreams 7 Heroes. Ye Xiaoyu stood up at this moment and shook hands with Liu Sissy and Hu Ji. After Hu Ji and Liu Sissy signed the contract, not only were they happy, but Lin Feng and Ye Xiaoyu were also very pleased. After all, these two were found by Lin Feng and Ye Xiaoyu after searching all the drama academies in the Magic City. Moreover, their appearance and temperament perfectly matched the Han, Mao and Lantu in their minds. No need, President Yi, we need to return to the academy immediately to ask for leave from our teachers and director. We can join the group for training tomorrow. Please rest assured that we will not waste any time. Ye Xiaoyu originally planned to treat Hu Ji and Liu Sissy to a meal, but they both declined. After bowing deeply to Lin Feng and Ye Xiaoyu, they left in a hurry. Watching Hu Ji and Liu Sissy's retreating figures, Ye Xiaoyu shook his head helplessly and chuckled. These two guys really don't understand the ways of the world. Is that so? I actually quite like their personalities. Lin Feng looked at the departing Ye Xiaoyu and Lin Feng and said with a smile, when making a film, the most important thing is to do what you can, and leave the rest to the audience. Lin Feng walked out while talking, and after a few steps, he turned back to Ye Xiaoyu and said, Let's go, if no one's eating with you, I'll eat with you. Humpich, who wants to eat with a big man like you? Although Ye Xiaoyu said that, his body honestly followed Lin Feng. Where are we eating? Isn't this our Yi family's catering hotel? An hour later, Ye Xiaoyu arrived at the hotel entrance and whispered to Lin Feng, brother-in-law, why did you think of coming here to eat? I don't have to pay to eat here, Lin Feng said with a smile to Ye Xiaoyu. What? Why don't you have to pay? When Ye Xiaoyu heard Lin Feng say that, he almost jumped up, because his older sister had previously stipulated that even their parents, when eating at hotels under the Yi group, would get a certain discount, but never free meals. He never expected Lin Feng to have the privilege of eating for free. Because I'm her husband, Lin Feng grinned and said proudly to Ye Xiaoyu. He's doing it on purpose, damn it, he must be doing it on purpose. The next moment, Ye Xiaoyu understood Lin Feng's intention. Lin Feng must have come to this place to eat just to show off to him. However, when they were eating, Ye Xiaoyu finally understood why Ye Xiaoyu let Lin Feng eat for free, because for 2 people, Lin Feng simply ordered 3 dishes, 2 meat and 1 vegetable, plus a soup, and that was it. If the people from the Yi family were to come, even if only 1 person came to eat, they would probably order several dishes, and some people would even order a good bottle of wine to show off. Drifting with the wind by the blue sky, a cloud falls before me. Molded into your shape, following me with the wind, eating away sorrow bite by bite. And when Lin Feng and Ye Xiaoyu had eaten their fill and left the hotel, passing through a lobby, they actually heard his own song. Carrying you is like carrying sunshine, no matter where we go, it's a sunny day. Butterflies fly freely, flowers cover the sky, each one fragrant because of you. Ye Xiaoyu, who was very curious, walked a few steps quickly, turned to look for a while, and then returned to Lin Feng's side, saying to him, "This is a wedding for a new couple, and they're playing your song, brother-in-law." Lin Feng became interested, and immediately followed Ye Xiaoyu to watch from the side. Indeed, it was a wedding. Suddenly, Lin Feng seemed to think of something, and the two of them immediately found the hotel manager. "This isn't it a good idea?" The hotel manager seemed a bit troubled after hearing them out. "Don't worry, if Xiaoyu blames anyone, just say it was my idea," Lin Feng said with a smile. "Trying to make the sunset fly. Leading you and me to circle nature. Facing the wind, beginning to spend every day together." At the wedding scene at this moment, accompanied by Lin Feng's song Starry Mood, the bride and groom were toasting guests one by one. A group of people in mascot costumes walked around the banquet hall, distributing dolls to the children attending the wedding. The entire venue was bustling at this moment. Hand in hand, just as the atmosphere reached a climax, the singing suddenly stopped. The scene immediately fell into silence. The bride and groom's raised wine glasses paused in midair, and the sound of conversation began to diminish. Even the children's shouts completely quieted down at this moment. What exactly is going on? Everyone had a hint of doubt in their hearts. However, just as everyone was wondering what was happening, a small bear slowly walked onto the central stage, holding a microphone, and bowed slightly to the crowd. Everyone's gaze was fixed on that small bear at this moment. The small bear then took off its headpiece, and the moment it was removed, everyone was stunned. That face was truly too familiar. Hand in hand, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, looking at the sky. Watching stars, 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, forming a line. Back to back, silently making a wish. Can the distant stars hear it? That small bear was not played by anyone else, it was Lin Feng himself. When he saw a new couple using his song as background music at their wedding, Lin Feng thought of this idea. First, he wanted to imitate Maroon 5. Also, Lin Feng had already eaten lunch, otherwise he definitely could have snagged a bite. Second, it was to advertise his girlfriend's catering business and boost its popularity. He believed that the people here would definitely record this segment and post it online, and the name of this hotel would certainly become known to more people. Lin Feng even had some ideas in mind. He might be able to help Ye Xiaoyu's catering business reach new heights of popularity. Hand in hand, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, gazing at the sky. Looking at the stars, 1, 2, 3, 4 connecting into a line. Back to back, silently making a wish. If a distant star can hear it, it will surely come true. And as Lin Feng began to sing, the entire wedding venue erupted, especially the bride, who looked at Lin Feng with a surprised expression, covering her mouth with her hands as tears streamed from her eyes. She was one of Lin Feng's first fans. She had liked Lin Feng since he released his first song, Sunny Day. Otherwise, she wouldn't have played Starry Mood at her own wedding. However, she never expected Lin Feng to appear at her wedding and sing for her love. At this moment, she felt like the happiest woman in the world. The entire wedding venue was now buzzing with excitement, screams rising and falling. Everyone was incredibly thrilled. "Thank you, everyone. I apologize for not being invited and intruding on your wedding," Lin Feng said with a smile, looking at the bride and groom below. "No way. Lin Feng, my wife and I love you so much," the groom shouted in response from below the stage. Thank you. I dedicate Starry Mood to you both. I hope your married life is sweet, and you grow old together," Lin Feng said with a smile to the bride and groom, having taken off his entire bear costume and holding the microphone. "If you know the song, feel free to sing along. Who tilde carrying you is like carrying sunshine, everywhere is a sunny day. Butterflies fly freely, flowers cover the sky, each one fragrant because of you." Lin Feng sang on stage, while the bride, groom and some guests below sang along with him. "Trying to make the sunset fly, leading you and me to embrace nature. Facing the wind, beginning to spend every day together." "Everyone together," Lin Feng said, then lowered the microphone. Hand in hand, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, gazing at the sky, looking at the stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, connecting into a line. Back to back, silently making a wish. Can the distant star hear it?